Los Papacitos. It's Los Papacitos, remember the name. When Carlos Ernesto take over the game. With family and friends, we don't care about the fame. From soccer and sports to anime. It's Los Papacitos, so come join the family. Cover events from Saint to insanity. Our culture runs deep in our colors Hispanic. We're here to tell you about our lives and our fantasies.
Hola mis amigos, welcome to Los Papacitos podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Ernesto.
I'm the other co-host, Carlos, and joining us today is Ashley.
Hi.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the podcast.
How are you?
How are you, first of all?
I'm really good. How about y'all?
Good. We're happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming.
No, thanks for inviting me, y'all.
Yes.
That was nice. Thanks.
Of course. The first question I wanted to ask you is, growing up, as from a child to an adult now, how was your life like? And how's it changed?
Okay. It was pretty good. I'd say it was a little bit difficult growing up with my sister, with her having autism, a lot of mood swings and like behavioral issues that, were kind of hard to watch,
Yeah.
I'd say that was probably the hardest part of life, just because it was sad, seeing her go through a lot of like issues, and we didn't know why, didn't know how to help her, didn't know if we could ever help her, but now she's doing really good, so I'm very glad about that. I used to be like such a mean little kid, to be honest, like to my parents. I was like so rude, I don't know why. So I was like a little brat, I'd say, as like a child. I was just dramatic. So that obviously caused a lot of conflict between me and my parents. My mom and I like did not get along for like a while, but now as I've grown up and matured, I'd say, I think we're good, but life has been pretty good. I can't really complain. I've had a lot of good opportunities, a lot of support, and I'm very, very thankful, for everybody in my life. I'd say like now I've grown a lot as a person. I'm definitely not rude, to my parents anymore, because geez. But no, I'd say now life is pretty good, and I'm glad for my growth.
Having a sister growing up with like autism, that's obviously difficult already. How was that? Like, you said it's hard and with your mom and everything. Mm-hmm. How did you manage that?
Honestly, I didn't manage it in the best way possible. Mm-hmm. I didn't really talk to people about it, I just kind of like pretended like everything was fine and that like it didn't bother me. So that, I feel like I held up a lot of resentment just towards my family in a bit, which wasn't really right, because like now I obviously see they were just doing the best they could. But I was, pretty angry for a bit, just because like I was like, nobody's like noticing my pain, and it was my fault for really not talking about it. Mm-hmm. But I was very fortunate to have my best friend, and she was really the one who got me through it, just listening to me, letting me stay at her house whenever I needed like a little break, really growing up and knowing that I'm not alone really helped. And a little bit of therapy helped as well, getting a better relationship with my family.
Oh, yeah.
And just like learning more about autism really did help me, because, as a kid, you grow up thinking the world revolves around you, that everything bad that happens is directed towards you, when it's really not. So just doing more research about autism really helped me understand, my sister, and understand that she's not doing any of this to spite me, to make it difficult. She just doesn't know how to express herself. So I'd say that's really what helped me.
That's amazing. Can you tell the audience a little bit more, like if you want to spread awareness of autism?
Autism, it's really a hard thing to define. Autism is like a very big spectrum. It really affects a lot of people's ability to like form relationships and express themselves. I won't speak for everyone else, but for my sister, she had like a lot of difficulty like expressing herself and, forming relationships. When she was first diagnosed, we were very fortunate to have her diagnosed at 2 years old. Autism typically isn't diagnosed in girls specifically that early. It usually takes many years for girls and women to get diagnosed. Even like men. I mean, there are so many people who get diagnosed in their 40s after having kids, and they finally have an answer as to why they feel the way they feel, you know? But it's really a big spectrum. And my sister, you know, when she was first diagnosed, they told us that she wouldn't be able to speak ever, you know? So now all she does is talk, you know? Not in one language, but in two. But that's really great, you know?
Yeah.
She does have a little bit of difficulty, you know, like forming bigger sentences, but she can like explain and, you know, talk about basic things that she wants and needs, you know? Like the other day, can I tell y'all something funny?
Okay,
I
story
was
time.
washing the dishes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm over here, you know, washing my dishes. I'm done, right? I have like my one plate. I'm rinsing it off. And my sister, she's over there sitting down eating, right? So she sees me finishing up. She rushes to the sink to throw me her plate. And I'm like, girl, clean up your stuff. And she was like, And I was like, yes, like, do not be lazy. Like, clean up your dishes. And you know what she said to me? She yelled out, "F you." And then she ran off. I was like, girl, where you learn that? Where did you learn that? But, you know, I'm very fortunate. You know, as annoying as her little comments are sometimes, I'm very happy, you know, to have those moments that, you know, we never thought we would have with her. It's like a difficult thing to kind of explain, to give an exact definition, just because everybody is so different. There are a lot of people who, you know, can speak and express themselves, but they have a lot of difficulty kind of remembering certain stuff to do, like say brush your teeth, you know, something that we do every day. A lot of the times it's something they need to be reminded of. But yeah.
What's the most fascinating thing you've learned about people diagnosed with autism or autism itself?
I don't know. I just really love how pure they are. They're so pure. Like, they have the kindest souls. They genuinely just have a lot of love for a lot of people. My sister, she's sweet. You know, as sometimes she gets annoyed, as y'all heard, you know, and expresses herself in such ways. You know, she's really sweet. Everybody who's met her can, like, tell you that she's one of the kindest, sweetest
She's
people.
really nice.
Yeah, she's really sweet. And I just think that that's the best part about them, how pure and, like, kind they are. Every single person with autism I've met, they just have, like, that little aura around them that it's just, like, so calming, to be honest.
You learn more. You learn more about, you know, your like the disability and how you can help as much as you can. Those types of disabilities, you never know. There's like no cure. There's no anything like that. But as long as like they're like what you said, they're the most kind-hearted people. That's all you need, honestly.
They really are. Yeah.
You said earlier in your life you were a little bit of like not the best, but now you have changed. Do you think the people you were surrounded with really affected you when you were younger?
I think so. Honestly, especially when I was going through my little, like, behavioral issues, I guess, where I was never really, like, mean per se. Like, I would never go out and bully people, you know? But I did talk back a lot for some reason, you know? And a lot of that had to do with me just wanting to fit in with, like, my classmates, you know? A lot of them were they were allowed to do a lot of things that I wasn't, you know? My parents were pretty protective, so, you know, going out to, like, football games or basketball games, you know, I wasn't really allowed to a lot of the times, and then that would always end up in an argument, you know, me asking to go, and, like, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the times I wanted to fit in with the crowd, so I would do things that I'd see them do, you know? As I got older, though, like in high school, I kind of realized, I'm like, do I really want to be like these people, you know? Do I really want to base my whole personality off other people? Like, who am I, you know? So I surrounded myself with just people that I genuinely liked, people that I genuinely felt like I had a connection. I didn't have a lot of super close friends that I would, like, talk to on a daily basis and, like, hang out. I had a lot of school friends, you know?
Yeah.
But I did have just, like, my 3 closest friends, in high school that I still talk to today. So like I feel like they helped me a lot. I hope they do realize that, especially like my friend Intavia. That's my best friend.
Shout out to her.
I know.
Real shout out.
My little
Shout
cutie
out.
pie. But yes, she really got me through a lot. You know, she still does to this day. You know, the person I always rant to, the person just like, I just love her. You know, she was like a sister to me, and you know, Mel, my other sister too. So
Yeah.
they're my little babies. I love them. As much as we always want to do things ourselves and, you know, tackle on obstacles by ourselves, it's not realistic to take everything on by yourself, you know? It's like a lonely thing, really. It's very lonely.
very.
I remember I used to be very quiet, and I didn't really like talking to like a lot of people unless, you know, they talked to me. And that was like probably the loneliest time of my life. And it really did suck. And, you know, I realized that I didn't have to be alone. You know, I had a lot of people that cared for me.
Yeah.
A lot of people who would welcome me with open arms, and that's when you feel the safest, honestly. So if you have just one person at least, hold on to them and like really value them, because that's what gets you through like tough times.
So you're always quality over quantity.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
definitely. I have the best friends, honestly. They're very kind, and I'm really proud of them too. They're just the kindest souls.
Growing up Hispanic has also been, you know, a challenge on its own. Can you tell us a little bit more? Like growing up, I know you had to focus on a lot of school. Your parents were strict, you know, but you grew up with 2 languages. And that always helped you on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, helping with other people as well.
Yeah, it definitely did help. I take a lot of pride in like, you know, being a part of like my culture and you know, having the privilege of knowing 2 languages. It's been really nice. I love how uniting just knowing of different languages. It's just always like the sweetest thing whenever you go somewhere and, you know, you meet somebody who speaks the same language. Like you just click, just click, you know? Like even if you haven't known them, they talk to you like they've known you forever, you know? It's just really sweet. Like even at work, you know, whenever I'm working and there's someone who comes in who might not feel too comfortable speaking in English, like them seeing me and then hearing me speak to them in Spanish, it just like, you can just see their eyes brighten up a lot. And it's really sweet. I do really like it. I'm very, very fortunate that my first language was Spanish and that I had the opportunity to, you know, learn English at school. As annoying as that was, you know, nobody understood me when I first started, like, but it's fine. No, I remember in elementary school when, you know, I first started, I've always been a talker. I talk, you know. I just love talking. And, you know, I wanted to be everybody's friend. So I would talk to them, and I just remembered them just, like, staring at me for, like, the longest time and then, like, slowly nodding their heads, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. And then, you know, in my head, I'm like, do they just not understand English? Like, what's happening? It's like, no, it's me. I just don't know how to speak English.
Oh.
But I really just, I just thought that they were the issue, I guess. But it's okay. I learned. I evolved. I'm fluent now in English, so props to me, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. How's it been for y'all? Do y'all feel like it's pretty good feeling?
Yeah, what you commented earlier about, you know, your parents didn't let you go out to basketball games or like because they're protective. We had the same thing. We couldn't go out because they were really protective. As annoying as it was, I didn't really see like the benefit of it until later on. But I wish I could see it like during that time. I was too selfish, I'll admit. Growing up, bilingual, awesome. Honestly, being bilingual or like multilingual doesn't matter. It opens up opportunities, opens up to have more relationships with friends, people that you don't know, like what you said. But it's amazing. It's been amazing. Food.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Food is a big thing. Our producer, David, loves Mexican food.
Good, as it should. As it should.
But yeah, like every single person that we have encountered or as our friend, they love the Mexican culture and Mexican food. The rise of Mexican culture has been huge. Not just like where we live, but like online, everything, everywhere. I've seen the culture like growing a lot.
You know, it's nice to see, you know, considering that there was a point in time where, you know, growing up as kids, you know, watching TV, you didn't see a lot of people like yourself.
Yeah.
You did.
You know, you just felt underrepresented, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Even having our own little movie Coco, like, you know,
Yeah.
even though they were kind of implying that he was illegally crossing the border, but you know what I mean?
What was that?
Yeah, I don't remember that. I only cried in the last part. No, I'm kidding.
That movie was
No.
amazing.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 though.
No, like literally, like, do y'all not remember when he tried to pass to the real world?
Oh, to the spirit world, or
No, to
What's
Back
the
to the
name
World.
of the? No. What's the name of the dad?
dude, it's been forever since I've seen.
Oh, the actual dad?
Yeah, the dad
Of
of
the-
Coco. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know when he was like,
oh my God,
you know when he
yeah.
was trying to cross little customs, you
I think
know,
I'm-
and then he was dressed up as like
Oh, yeah.
someone else, and then they like were like, oh,
Oh,
no, he
yeah.
tried crossing the little border, the little bridge, flower bridge. I don't.
I think I remember
that.
the flower
I-
bridge.
I
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah,
but
I
I do
remember.
remember
That's why
now,
I was
like
like,
the scene.
funny I'll do that. Funny I'll do that with a Mexican culture movie. But no, it's okay. I still love that movie. It's really cute. You know, seeing things like that where, you know, you see people speaking the same language as you, people who look like you,
Yeah.
people who have the same beliefs and customs. Like, it's really nice, you know? Even with Encanto, you know, that was also a really pretty movie, too.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It was really
Yeah, it
cute.
was
It
good.
was, you know... It was nice to see family trauma, you know, passes on and how that affects not only, you know, like the older generations, but just future generations as well. So it's really nice being able to see movies or shows that have, you know, things you can relate to.
One of the biggest things that we always grew up, our dad always used to tell us was learning one language is like good, but having another language there, especially if it's like English, you already have advantage over so many people. Like growing up already knowing two languages, already having like what my brother said, like you already have connections and people you can reach out to, people different lifestyle, different culture. You know, it's amazing, and the way the brain can just switch the language just like that. I'll be honest, I do speak a lot of Spanglish. I do mix a lot.
Oh,
Mix
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
we
know
all-
like the elder people hate that, especially our parents.
Yeah.
But it's still really funny, and it's still really nice to know both languages. But the more you know, obviously, the more languages you know, the better you're off in life. Because that's all about like meeting new people through languages is just one thing, but getting to know them, the culture, like studying like the food and eating the food. This
Yep.
is
It's the best part.
It's the best part.
part.
Moving to a different subject now. You were telling us that you're learning Arabic.
Yeah.
Can you show off a little bit Arabic?
I am currently in elementary Arabic.
Maybe just
OMG. Like, to any actual Arabic speakers, I apologize. Like, literally the
She's just learning.
She's learning. Don't hate on her.
No, I can kind of count.
Really?
Yeah, I'll count.
Till 10?
Sure. Let's
Okay.
do
Really?
it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
say hello to.
No, just let her count.
Hello?
Just let her count.
I think the way I was taught is like sabah al khair, but I just like don't say it how it should.
That sounds nice, though.
Isn't there another way to say it, right?
Yes, but I think it's like more so in like
Formal?
no.
Or to like parents?
I'm learning Fusla, the
Yeah.
formal
Yeah.
Arabic.
Oh.
Yeah, so that what I've heard is nobody really speaks it, but
Yeah.
you know, all my friends who are Egyptian, they're like, yeah, probably not gonna be able to understand you, but you know, it's okay. It's okay.
Aw.
Well, they'll teach me their little slang. It's cool. But yeah, I guess I can try to count.
Okay, say less.
Yay. Okay, so واحد اثنين ثلاثة أربعة خمسة ستة سبعة تسعة and then Ashra, right? Yes.
Are we not
That's-
repeat it?
that's
No.
it.
I'm gonna fail already.
That sounds nice. That's
It's
good.
been pretty fun. I definitely don't feel too comfortable speaking it just because, like, I know the accent is just not there, you know.
But that shouldn't discourage you still.
I know. It's just, I'm a very, like...
Perfectionist?
Yes, that's, like, the worst trait I have. Like, I just, if I can't do it perfectly, I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I just
Really?
have to, I don't know why. Like, literally, as a kid, like, that's always been my thing. I'm like, if I'm not good at it, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I better be the best. Like, it's not good. I know. But it's okay. I'm trying now. In class, we really have like 4 people who consistently show up. Or no, 5. Yeah. And me and my friend, one of like my best friends, we decided to do to minor in Arabic together. So she's in the class, but like everybody else is like native speakers. So it's like very humbling. I'll be like texting my friend and I'll be like, dang, are you confused? She's like, yeah. And then like they call on someone and they just answer it like that. And I'm like, okay, nice. I guess it's just us. But no, yeah, that class, it genuinely makes me nervous because since it's like, it's over Zoom. And since it's only like just a few people that even show up to class, she'll just call on us to like say things. And it's like, you know, that's the best way, I guess, to do it. Because if not, I would not be
learning.
Yeah. As scary as it is, I'm prepped. I'm over here with my notes. I have like my alphabet. I have like my iPad full of
just in case.
Yeah. Oh my god, you're not gonna catch me failing. No.
Do you read it more or understand it more, or what's your biggest trait?
Right now, what we're doing, we're learning more like grammar things. Which is like the hardest part. Honestly, with Arabic, there are a lot of patterns that are pretty helpful. But like for the alphabet, like each letter has like 4 different ways to write it. So that was really fun learning last semester.
I didn't know that.
It's like honestly so pretty writing it. I love writing it. It's just so fun. Like it's like a cute little cursive, but
isn't it written like right to left, or is it?
Yes, right to left.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, oh wait, I think I might be dumb.
Yes, it is written right to left, which did take some getting used to. But like now, I'll be like trying to write in
writing
English
your essays in English.
I'm like, wait, where am I going? But yeah, no, it's right now. It's like mainly grammar stuff and like
that's always the tough
how to
part.
Conjugate all that. But it's been pretty good. We've been kind of doing like a mix of like being able to kind of like speak it, read it, write it, and then like hearing it. So like right now, what we're really practicing on is being able to like hear conversations and like pick up on stuff. Because, we're not going to know everything, especially since like we're still in elementary Arabic. So really what they're trying to teach us is to be able to pick up on the few stuff that we know. And then based on like how it's conjugated and all that, like kind of pick up on what they're trying to say, which has been pretty helpful. I feel like that part is a little bit easier. And, a lot of my friends speak Arabic, so I obviously eavesdrop on their conversation. Like, what are we talking about? I can never pick up a lot of stuff, but at least a couple words, which is good enough for me.
Yeah.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. In the future, though, would you want to go to an Arabic-speaking
Yes,
country?
that is like my goal, to be able to. I really want to study abroad in an Arabic speaking country. I'm still not quite sure where. I don't know, just because like their dialects are very different. So if I go somewhere, that's the dialect I'm sticking to, because it's going to be pretty hard to kind of like switch over. Obviously there are similarities. I mean, like same with Spanish, depending on where you go, there's dialects, different words that
accents
translate.
too.
Yeah. But I'm wanting to study abroad, hopefully in an Arabic-speaking country. So hopefully that goes well. I feel like that'll be the best way for like the language to really stick.
Definitely, especially if you are surrounded with native-speaking people, that would definitely help. I only know, like I already said this on the other podcast, but I only know like a couple words, like Habibi.
Habibi?
Habibi. But there's another one, Habibi, but it has the T and I. There's a difference between like...
That's like where like you're conjugating the T-I. You would be referring to you.
Yeah.
To a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. The T-I is what's
T-I.
like saying like you're talking to a... Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
the
Hopefully I'm
slang.
right. I hope I'm not telling you wrong.
No, you're right. I think you're right.
No, your teacher's gonna be like, Ashley, so you're
Why are you
listen.
spreading false information?
You're the teacher now.
Yeah.
She's like, girl, you have a test coming up. Why didn't you know this?
I'm gonna fail you already.
No, literally.
This is like super common, but mashallah, inshallah,
Inshallah.
I think that's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
a couple.
that's
Yeah, good for me too.
Honestly, and if you're not like really exposed to it, there's like it's pretty difficult to like
It is.
pick up on words. So even you knowing a few stuff,
I know,
you
which is
that's-
kind of crazy. The
that's
most
good.
common words. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Not that either. Not that either. But that's cool. How, like, what do you say the challenges that you face being in a class and like people like native speakers around you? You said you felt like really nervous in that class.
Yeah, it was.
Has it always been like this?
Honestly, so this is like my own like second semester of being in that class, right?
Oh, okay.
So the people I'm with right now, just because like nobody minors in Arabic,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've been stuck with the same, but not stuck. That sounds so mean. Like I'm just stuck with them. No,
Stuck,
I'm like
okay.
no stop.
Just get same old people.
Like, literally, like give me some new. No, no, but they're really nice, actually. They're very helpful. Whenever we do go into like little breakout rooms and, you know, I'm like, y'all, I'm lost. And they're like, it's okay. Like, here, they explain it to me. So they're super sweet. And obviously they're in that class for a reason. They don't feel 100% on their Arabic, you know, a lot of them. So it's nice. I don't ever feel judged in that class.
That's good.
So yeah, so it is really good. They're very sweet.
Helpful. Yeah.
It's just the fact that I don't like not knowing things and like being the worst at it, which is like fine. Like if I'm the worst at it, it's really not a big deal. But
Yeah.
I tell myself like, no, you can't do that. You have to do better. But no, it's actually been pretty encouraging just because it is like such a small class now. So at this point, if I mess up, they know. They're like, oh, there she goes again. Mess up. No, it's like pretty good. If it had been like a bigger class, I definitely would feel way more nervous. But just because it's like a pretty like small class, I feel a little bit more comfortable, you know, asking questions. Because like in a lot of my classes, I don't ask questions to the professors. Like I don't like asking questions like when there's like a bunch of people. I rather just like
Same.
ask them directly.
Same.
Or private, yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
So no, in that class, I'm like unmuting, like, excuse me,
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure on that. So I'm pretty comfortable in that class. I'd say.
I'm the same thing with you. Like I don't like talking or asking questions during class, but I was lying into the DM. Okay, like, not either. But I was like, "Hey, professor, I need help privately."
Literally. As they're walking out the door, me with my iPad.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
wait.
same. Me too.
But that's so brave. Like
Yeah, that's
learning
all,
Arabic though. That's just already just a, that's
step
a
forward.
future language too.
There's a large Arabic speaking community here where we live, you know, so it's like pretty nice being able to know like another language, you know, and just like having, you know, that knowledge in Spanish, it just like makes me feel like more happy learning another language because I can connect with other people, you know.
Yeah.
Like whenever I tell people that I'm like learning Arabic, they get so happy. They're like, oh my gosh, I've like never heard of someone doing
Yeah.
that, you know. They always ask me like, are you Arab? And I'm like, no. A lot of people have confused me with being like Egyptian, which is like so.
Really?
I'm like, stop, because they're so pretty. Like I literally love them. I think it's the hair. Like a lot of Egyptians have really curly hair.
Yeah.
So that is what a lot of people think. You know, I know at work we share like the back part is like tax people and. He's Arab, and then the first time I met him, I was like doing some laundry back there, and then he was like, "Do you speak Arabic?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Are you? What are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm Mexican." And he was like, "I thought you were Egyptian." I was like, "Stop! I wish." Basically, in a couple of months, I will be. No, no, just wait.
Trust the process.
Yeah, and like a lot of my friends are Egyptian, and you know, at first they were like, "We couldn't tell if you were like." Egyptian or if you were something else because it's like a pretty tight-knit community, so like they know everyone. They were like, when we didn't know you, that's why we were like, I don't think she's Egyptian, and it's like really cute that they know each other. They're very sweet. Like where I go to, they're all super sweet, you know, very willing to help. Just the community at the school I go to, it's just like that. Everyone's really helpful and just, you know, eager to help.
Yeah. When you said in your workplace, another question we wanted to ask is, what do you or where do you work?
I at like a urgent care / walk-in clinic. Yeah. I work at 2 different places. I work at one which is just like a walk-in clinic. I do that like PRN as needed, and then I'm working part-time at a different clinic. That's like, he does everything. That doctor does everything for some reason. He's funny. He, does obviously like the urgent care stuff. He does IV hydration. He does like Botox, Juvederm, does like,
Everything. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, yeah. So that's been pretty fun. I work as like a medical assistant, and I was certified senior year of high school. Thankfully, we had like that program where like, you could do like an internship senior year and then like get certified. So that's like where I got my certification. But yeah.
And how's the experience of getting the certification and what it means?
It was pretty nice. I will say it was during COVID when I did the internship thing. So a lot of it was kind of dialed back.
Yeah.
It was, over Zoom, us having our little like
That's right.
class stuff. Because like the way it was set up initially, you would have days where you'd go to clinical, and then other days where you'd go into the classroom and actually learn hands-on stuff. Like, how to give injections, how to draw blood, all of that. So we didn't really have that. They just gave us a textbook and we're like, hey, sorry, but you'll just have to learn this and then take the test at the end of the year.
Wow.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
that's what I had to do. I wish it would have been a little bit different just because, going into the field, I was kind of like, well, I read about it, but I've never done it,
Yeah.
So I was like very nervous about that. So that's why I wish COVID didn't happen, just,
Yeah.
it was a hard time for a lot of people, but that did kind of mess up that whole little experience. But I really did love my teacher for clinicals. He was really sweet. I loved him. He was very helpful. Even though we weren't able to shadow as many places, he still really tried to get us a lot of shadowing hours, which was
that's
pretty
good.
Good.
Yeah, and I was really, really thankful that my first job, which is, I still work there. That's like the place I work kind of as needed. They were the ones who hired me. They were like my first little medical assistant job thing. So yeah, and the nurse practitioner was like so sweet, so patient. Literally, they like taught me everything. Holding my hand, like this is how you do it, practice on us, I'd practice giving shots on them, practice drawing blood until I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
So it was really nice having that experience, having a place where I genuinely felt like I could learn and wouldn't be rushed into things, especially because it's healthcare. Like, you don't want to be rushed into things and not be 110% sure on things. So, yeah, I really like working as a medical assistant. It's been pretty uniting, I'd say. I formed a lot of relationships. As y'all can tell, I love talking. So
We did too. That's why we started this.
No, yeah, but I've really been able to form a lot of relationships with people and, learn a lot about people. They've been really nice. It's sweet being able to make others feel comfortable, because, like, a lot of people don't like going to the doctors, or they don't like, admitting something's wrong, So being able to be that person that, tells them, like, it's okay, like, I'm here to listen. Like, it's been a really good experience.
On the certificate, does it say Dr. Ashley?
No, I wish. Maybe in a
It's
couple
soon gonna be.
years.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I really hope so.
Being a medical assistant for right now is good, but what would you want to become in the future?
I want to hopefully become a doctor. I'm wanting to maybe go into like psychiatry. I just feel like I've always really liked psychology, and I've always really wanted to go into the medical field. So that's kind of what I've been, called to, I guess. So that's really the goal. Yeah. So I feel like in our community, our like Latin American community, Latinos, Hispanics, I feel like mental health isn't talked about a lot.
No, it's not.
It's very difficult to start that conversation. And I feel like a lot of our parents, grew up in countries where they didn't really have access to like healthcare, so they don't really go, even here in the United States. It's pretty rare to see parents, go to the doctor and just, get like their annual checkups. I feel like that's stuff I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
So feel like I've always just wanted to be a voice for the Latino community, just because I don't really see a lot of, Hispanic doctors. A lot of doctors who speak Spanish, and maybe that just might be the location. But I remember, just having my parents like not go to the doctor and then them be like, it's just sometimes they don't understand what I'm trying to say, or like things like that, and it just like sucks.
Yeah.
So I really just want to be a voice for our community. I feel like psychiatry is also something that I'd really want to do, just because like mental health issues also aren't talked about a lot. And I feel like mental health issues are looked down upon in our community. So I'd really just want to offer it in a like different light. Like a lot of people don't like psychiatrists. I don't know if you guys heard the stigma, but like apparently psychiatrists just like talk to the patients for like a little bit and then give them a bunch of medication. They're like, okay, see you in a couple months.
Yeah.
And, when I tell people I want to be a psychiatrist, they're like, you're not going to like it. Like, you're not going to like it. And I'm like, well, maybe I want to change it a little, I feel like that's kind of where I'm wanting to go. Even though a lot of people say I might not like it, I feel like it's our job to change things we don't like,
Yes.
If there's a way we think we can make it better, I think we definitely should try.
There's a lot of things that our parents or like immigrant parents don't, even like people like not just like the Hispanic or like Latino community, but other ethnicities also experience the same things. And we're the generation, since like they didn't have the stuff that we do have.
Yeah.
We're the voice now.
You see it at your work too, when Hispanics, when they go, they ask you, what is this? Because they don't know.
Yeah.
Like most of them don't know. And they don't understand. That's why they like fear a lot of the stuff. And since you're a doctor, you have to explain to them, this is for you.
Yeah.
Some of them will not understand. And I'm pretty sure you've been through that too. Like having to tell patients or even your parents too about it.
Yeah.
Which is really rough. But
It is.
still.
Yeah, and it just also really sucks seeing a lot of people not go to the doctor because, like, they don't have a translator. Say,
Yes.
like, there have been
yeah.
a lot of scenarios where, like, patients will come in and, they've been having an issue for a while, but they, haven't come in until, like, this late because this is the only time my kid doesn't go to school. Or this is the only day that my friend could come with me, to
Correct.
translate. And that's what really sucks, That's why I feel like me knowing Spanish and then hopefully maybe Arabic, I'll be able to, help people and, they won't have that fear of going into the doctor and not being understood and not knowing, what it is like they're talking about, especially with like medical terminology. It's like very difficult,
Yeah.
Of course.
And like you have to be so thorough with like medicine, you can't leave any room for like
No, you can't.
Errors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't. So yeah.
What's one of the coolest or fascinating tools that's been evolving, I guess, or has been new, introduced to modern
There's
medicine?
a lot.
Good question. I feel like there are a lot of stuff. Like the first thing that like comes to mind, honestly, just like with the whole drama with Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber.
Oh yeah.
I just think of like lupus. Like for example, like
Yeah.
back then their life expectancy, like if you had lupus, like you just
Yeah.
weren't gonna have a good life expectancy,
you
you
weren't.
know. And like now they can have a pretty like average lifespan, something that like wasn't really expected, back then, Of course, like the medicine, there's always room for improvement for medicine because there's so many side effects.
There's so
but,
many.
hopefully we can get to a point where like medicine doesn't have that many side effects, or we can come up with like another
Alternative.
Yeah, that's the thing. Unfortunately, with medicine, as good as it is, there are a lot of things that just a lot of drawbacks, unfortunately.
And one big thing about the healthcare that I forgot to mention that sucks in the U.S. is the insurance
Yes.
and
yes.
the treatments,
Yeah,
medication too.
I know.
Like you can't even people die because they don't even have insurance.
I know. And even with insurance.
Yeah,
it's-
even
the
with
affordability
insurance,
is
yeah,
outrageous.
I know. Sometimes I have to cover up front, so I deal with like a lot of people, having to, give me their insurance, and then I tell them their copay. A lot of people have deductibles, so, like say a doctor visit is like $200, right? even with insurance, you know, if you have a high deductible that you haven't met, you still have to pay the $200, as if like if you weren't, you know, like if you were like self-pay, you'd pay $200 to be seen. With insurance and a high deductible, you'd still pay $200, and you're like, well, I'm paying for insurance, like why do I still have to pay this much? But yeah, a lot of people don't go to the doctor, unfortunately, because
That's
of insurance.
the other reason
it
why.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they're paying a lot of money, you know, to
Of
have
course.
treatment, and then, you know, to still come into the doctor's office and have to pay an insane amount, or even having a balance after. Because I will tell you, a lot of people come in, you know, and they're like, I have a bill from y'all, but I have insurance. Like, what's the thing? I'll go on, you know, on the website, see, you know, why they have a balance. I'll tell them it's from this visit. Your insurance paid $22 of your visit, so you're left with like
Oh my god.
like,
$3 billion.
Yeah, literally. You're left with like a balance of 185. Sorry, like something.
Man.
Yeah, so that really sucks. A lot of hassle with insurance, because insurance doesn't want to pay. Like, they just don't want to.
That's why I hate
And we're
it.
paying them
Yeah.
to do that to us.
Yeah.
But what would you, like, there's people like younger probably watching this. What would you give like recommendations to younger people, like younger Hispanic girls or boys, or
Or just,
Just
any
and
time.
ju- yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the biggest piece of advice would just to be a kind person. As like, as basic as that is, being kind will take you a very, very long way. People will remember you and feel safe around you and just trust you way more, you know? I also think you need to take pride in your culture, your heritage, whether, you know, you're Hispanic or not. It's pretty important to take pride in that and to, you know, think of your community. I think that, you know, being yourself is a really big thing. Nobody's you, right? So, you know, you just have to be yourself. Be known for your heart. Don't give in to, you know, what society says, you know. It's really easy to lose yourself when you're wanting to fit in, especially when you're young. And you'll probably regret it, you know, as you get older, you know, acting ways that internally you just knew weren't right, you know. I still to this day regret, you know, being rude to my parents as a child, or, you know, just not being the best person that I could be. So really, you know, just be kind. Don't let your anger speak for you, you know, just think with a clear head and just follow your dreams. Really, that will take you the biggest place, you know. You can do it. Really, you can do it. As lonely and, you know, bad as you feel in the moment, you'll be able to do it. And it's okay to have your weak moments, because everyone does. But you just have to be the biggest advocate for yourself and for your people. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share awareness of, like any other topics that don't get mentioned a lot?
Yeah, like I would definitely say, you know, with like disabilities, you know, like autism, definitely I feel like it's an important thing to educate yourself on things that you're not aware of, you know, even if that comes to like intellectual disabilities or just like issues going on in politics, you know. I think not being aware of things is the worst thing that you could do to yourself, you know. Definitely don't speak on things that you're not quite sure on. If there's something you're confused about or something that you hear, always make sure that you do your own research and, you know, form your own opinion about it. There are just so many things that, you know, go on in life, you know, a lot of like political movements or like political issues that people will automatically jump on either side, you know,
Correct.
Yep.
without really knowing the facts a lot of the times.
Or the other side.
Yeah. So I feel like things like that, just like in general, really just make an effort to learn something new every day. That will be the best thing that you can do. Really, you know, I'd say that's the biggest thing.
That is going to basically finish off our whole podcast today. Thank you guys for joining in again.
Go to our link tree. You'll find our Instagram, TikTok, YouTube account, and Spotify account. And until next time.
Adios, mis amigos.